talking about gay sex yet, so.
Well, I'm glad I unmuted you immediately at the gay sex part. So, hello
Hi, everybody.
everyone, and welcome to another exciting stream of Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. I am your DM, Obsidia, everybody's favorite Death Knight, and the DM of this campaign. As is tradition, we're going to go around the table with introductions before we do some announcements, a brief session recap, and we hop right back into the hellish action. So, first of all, we have Paige the Mage, gay sex connoisseur.
I can feel her face being red.
My name is Yulia. I go by Roll My BT on both Twitch and Twitter. I play a magical cat girl that does time magic here, and I have a really good time with my friends. Thanks.
Oh yeah, we're sure you do.
Heyo! Thank you, Yulia. Next up, we have Ilya.
Where do we even go from here? Hello, everybody. My name is Ilya, and I'm playing. My name is Ilya. Ooh, good start. Good start. My name is Lily, and I'm playing Ilya, which is mostly just Lily, just swapped around a little bit, if you think about it.
Oh, 5D chess character name.
That was not intentional at all. But either way, I'm just local music and RPG lover. Currently, just chilling and vibing, playing D&D with lots of cool friends. So yay, that's all.
Heck yeah, thank you, Lily. Next up, we have the horniest MILF in the party, Euphoria.
Oh geez, that's me. Hello everyone. I'm Maris. I play Miss Euphoria Cox, everyone's favorite hot pink tiefling MILF. However, when I'm not playing D&D and being gay with my friends, I'm gay on my own channel, and we like to have comfy, cozy streams. We like to read stories. We're currently reading through some Sherlock stories, and it's just a nice, chill time. So stop on by if that's your vibe.
Thank you, Maris. Next up, we have your pal Malral.
Hey, I'll be playing Malral, the Dragonborn Smith. When I'm not playing this Big Daddy Dragonborn, though, I usually play TTRPGs on other people's channels and stuff. So feel free to stop by my place and figure out where all those are.
Thank you, Litra. Definitely go check out Litra's other campaigns. Heckin' poggers, as they say on the street. And finally, last but never least, we have Cess.
Hi. My throat. Excuse me. It's a very off day tonight. Hi, I'm Sez, role-played by Sif, real ass Nightman, no cat ears, at the moment. How's it going? It's Pride Month, gay sex. I am doing art this week. That's all I got. There will be no gay sex on my stream, unfortunately, but
Tragic.
we got enough gay sex in this campaign.
We'll
I
have
hate
to make
it
up for
here!
that in some way.
I love you guys, and that's with the Pride Month this month too. Okay.
All right, thank you, Sif. All right, so it's the announcement for tonight. I just want to do the friendly reminder that I am working with the New York Snark Exchange for the entire month of June to be raising money for Trans Lifeline, a trans suicide prevention and support network. We have so far raised almost $800. You type in !! charity into chat, and you can go right to the Tilify and donate, or just spread the word, whatever you like. It's for a good cause. This is Pride Month. This is the month of unabashed gay sex, and I'm here for it. So definitely go check it out and support it. I really appreciate you all and everyone who's donated so far. All right. So previously on Eberron, Ashes of the Last War, our plucky group of adventurers found themselves leaving their home in Greywall and journeying to the far north of Cover to the country of Karnak, the military, the military that has a state attached to it, with a penchant for undead, where they were hired by a mysterious figure to basically go to Karnath, find somebody who died at the Battle of Seven Spears, and use them as a resonance point to enter the Mournlands and find a secret government facility that has the key to how the Ashbringers keep avoiding death permanently. Upon arriving, on the way to Cardath, our plucky kitties were given a warning as they passed by the Mourn Wall to not look directly at it, but you know what they say about curiosity and what it does to cats. And so they decided to ignore precautions and safeguards and gaze directly at the Mourn Wall for the first time in all of its horrific, screaming faces in the mist glory. As it proceeded to erode at their sanity, they eventually determined that maybe this isn't the best thing to stare at and went the rest of the trip past the Mourn Wall in a bit of contemplation and reflection about their actions. Upon arriving in Carnath, the party was confronted with the dour and overall fairly hostile people, which thankfully was countered by Malral being a veteran who could get along really well with all of the sassy undead soldiers who still walked the city streets, and specifically with a staff sergeant Breckenrich, a very plucky little ghast who gave him a tour of the city, told lots of funny jokes, talked about how proud of his kids he was, and eventually led them to meet the Ladies Lever, the head of the Carnathi Eternal Veterans Association, a vampire and lich respectively, who they had met previously aboard the Goliath, the world's most uncrashable airship up until it crashed. While they were meeting them, who were recovering from their battle and destruction aboard the ship, they basically gave a pitch about what they're trying to do to stop the Ashbringers, and the Ladies Lever said, yeah, those guys are real dicks, we're in. And so they gave them the name of a White Ranger who fought at the Battle of Seven Spears and was killed there. And he would be able to act as a resonance guide to take them back to the Battle of Seven Spears itself. His name was Master Sergeant Marcus Geller. He was a rather bored undead fella who enjoyed some excitement to participate with the party, where he then led them on a skeletal carriage to get to the Mourn Wall itself, had everybody link hands, gave them the warning that, hey guys, by the way, this place is kind of fucked up, so just, get yourself steeled for it, but hopefully there won't be any lasting consequences for you guys. And they then proceeded to enter the Mournlands itself and saw the twisted, fucked up hellscape that was what the country of Cyre had now become. And with that, we will hop back in. So, as you guys have gazed upon the fields of corpses being skewered by vast mechanical constructs, strange skinless, eyeless wolves being eaten by living spells, and just fields of ash in every direction under a prismatic, ever-changing storm sky. What would you guys like to do?
Definitely try not to throw up. That's a thing.
Not draw attention to ourselves at all. Well, it's a hell of a charming place you got here. Let's get through it as quick as we can.
Yes, it's best not to linger any longer.
Could we all keep holding hands?
Oh, you don't need to do that anymore. Unless you feel like holding hands with each other, that's up to you. Marcus kind of shrugs.
It's just Marcus and then a line of people holding hands behind it.
We'll follow your lead, Marcus.
All right, sounds good. The good news is, the distances here could be very brief or very long, so it's kind of left to personal interpretation. But I think it should probably take us a couple days to get there, so don't worry.
Is there any danger in being inside of the Mournlands for a couple of days, just so that way we know?
He gestures to everything you're seeing.
Well, of course, everything is terrible here. I can see that quite plainly, but more so prolonged exposure, damaging psyches, etc.
Ah, well, I would not recommend staying here for an extended visit if that's an option.
Definitely
Unless
not a place to build a vacation home, from what I'm gathering.
correct. I would especially be wary of the rodents of unusual size, but hopefully we won't run into them.
We have those in Shan too. It's no biggie.
Rodents of unusual size? I don't think they exist.
You guys worked
Oh.
with one on a train.
Well, E4 is. Is it cool if I take this rock?
Sure. Yeah, you know, it's your life. You're the one living it. I'm not.
Yes, I don't think you should do that.
The rock
Let's-
looks like a skull, but it's obviously a rock. It's just, for whatever reason, is shaped very exquisitely like a human skull.
Puts it in a little cloth sack and like, like a little souvenir. I mean, how often will we be going in the Mournlands? Yeah.
You say that like this is a pleasure, Sess.
We gotta make the most of every single trip into hell. So,
But yes,
I
please
mean, if
do
you guys
lead
are
on.
really uncomfortable with me having this, I'll throw it away.
I just don't know what anything here does. That's my main concern.
And this is technically a giant burial ground.
Takes the rock back out and then just chucks it as far into like the mist as she can.
Oh,
It disappears into the mist, never to be seen again.
unless.
Unless,
Oh
Um,
god.
but yeah, Marcus will kind of, well, I can give you the scenic tour, or we can follow a bit more of a subtle route, so as to avoid some of the local natives.
Best preferred, actually.
Yeah, we're kind of. I mean, over under on us running into trouble at the place we're getting to, so we probably don't want to run into trouble on the way there, anyways.
Yeah, the less trouble we have on the way there, the better.
I'm gonna look back at Malral and Sylonia and just say, folks hanging in there?
Malral.
I think he's BRB.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sylonia has kind of this just wild, crazed look in her eyes as she just looks at everything in Cyre again. And you notice that she doesn't seem to be aware of it, but there are tears sliding out of her eyes. But she doesn't seem to be crying or anything.
I'm gonna go back and just kind of grab her hand and squeeze it tightly and ignoring the
Feedback.
feedback, yeah.
And she kind of blinks a couple times as she looks at you. Are we leaving?
We're continuing onwards.
Oh, yes, of course. Always forward.
Remember, we can be your anchor when you need it. Just stay close.
She kind of looks at you for a second as you say that, and you see like there's like a weird prismatic sheen that goes like just across her eyes very briefly, and she kind of blinks it away and continues walking. Malral, Ilya was asking, how are you holding up? Being back in Cyre.
I heard I have wireless headphones. Malral is very silent at first. You can see he's looking around and eyes darting from one spot to another, almost as if trying to put the puzzle pieces back together of what likely once was this place. Like, over there, that could have been this, or over there, could that have been this type of building? Or He
Gotcha.
seems to be just trying his best to piece it together, but is slowly growing more and more frustrated as he can't seem to get all the pieces.
Okay. Um, Marcus will begin leading you guys through. Um, there is a literal, like, not like a highway per se, but a highway um, that's in the ash, and it is kind of, it glows slightly compared to the rest of the landscape, as if there's some energy to it itself, and it leads seemingly infinitely into the distance. And Marcus kind of is walking along, and he turns to you guys and goes, "Oh, this used to be the old King's Way, back before everything. I guess there must be some kind of lasting effect on it, but it seems to be shining quite bright tonight."
And this won't draw attention, the fact that it's bright?
Oh, not from the living at least. You might see something a little weird upon a time or two, but that should be alright, and probably harmless.
Probably harmless. Excellent. Hand on hilt of sword.
Probably harmless, maybe is the best that we get here.
And yeah, and as you follow the King's Way, it definitely feels like you're walking for in an eternity. The landscape does change as you continue on. You see at one point, what was ruined walls that appear to have been hit by a kaleidoscope of elemental effects at once, and along the walls are what seems to be the blast shadows of dozens of people as you walk through what was maybe a town at some point, as every wall has what appears to be the shadowed echo of a person who was standing somewhere there whenever presumably this went down, and you can very distinctly make out the shapes and sizes of each person, and as you look at the shadow, they seem to move slightly as a projection of that person's last moments is, kind of runs across your vision before you stop looking at it, and it just looks to be another shadow again. And that's how it seems to be for all of these people, with different looks of terror and resignation, and mostly confusion more than anything else.
At least in the war, it was soldiers who signed up that it met their end. How is such a device that killed so many innocents worth the end of a war?
Sylonia remains specifically quiet at that comment.
Paige is definitely going to go on the other side of Sylonia and not really say anything, but she is going to take her other hand.
All right. She is wearing her gauntlets, so you don't get any direct feedback.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she is very quiet as she looks at everything. And you know Cylonia pretty well at this point, and
Mm-hmm.
even with all the things you didn't know about her and now do, there's like this very weird contradiction in the way that she's viewing it. There's clearly a great deal of shame. She's been very open and honest about her regrets associated with this, but you do also notice there is a seemingly uncontrollable fascination with the effects of all of this.
Mhm.
as if she is like surveying it and with the same kind of analytical thought that she would do towards, like building a little contraption for you or talking about magic and stuff. She's seemingly trying to analyze how this happened, why this happened, and if it could be repeatable.
This was a tragedy for most part. It's best not to be repeated.
Yes, of course. It is truly tragic. I can't help but look. It's some things you just can't ever turn off.
I understand. Mm, I- it's so strange to think that you were really a part of all of this. Like I'm meeting a whole nother person.
She gives a uh tries to give a very forced smile, but it just never properly forms. And she goes, "This is who I always was."
You
Right.
made a
You're
mistake, a big one. But at least you're trying to take responsibility. We don't want this to happen again. So you better take responsibility and make sure it doesn't.
Paige, was there anything you wanted to say?
she'll just kind of squeeze her hand a little bit, like almost encouraging. We'll just kind of be a pillar right beside her.
Yeah. And yeah, she just kind of looks away from Malral and keeps on walking along. Um, Marcus kind of just walking with his hands behind his back, very much like an anime character, and like the back of his head. And he goes, the war would have been over a lot quicker if you just would have acknowledged Karnathi's supremacy.
Mm.
If people just could admit faults, then I'm sure a lot less conflict would happen in the world. I can't claim to exactly know very much about the war myself, as I actively tried to ignore it for the majority of my life. But seeing this up close is a bit of a different story.
Yeah. It was a hell of a time. You know, I grew up, you know, fairly fairly much is surrounded by all the recruitment odds. My father served before me. And when I enlisted, I genuinely thought we were gonna win. The line these days is that Karnath did win. It's just didn't win enough to quite end the war itself, in the way needed to be able to bring everybody under the proper banner of the wolf. But I know that's just what the national line is. I know that nobody won the war, and the only thing we were ever assured of is that Cyre lost. Well, should be counting yourself lucky that you never got to fight. And not everybody has the raw testicular fortitude, as he makes a gesture around where his testicles are, to
It's
square up with a known foe in battle. But
more so I was hiding in the shadows, dealing with my own conflict, as she intentionally looks away from all of the uh, the outlines of where people once were, because that is familiar to her.
Gotcha.
I
And
fought to defend these lands. This is where my family was. I thought I was doing the right thing.
don't we all, lad? Don't we all? I would gladly give my life for my country, and I did. And continue to serve it to this day. It's just less reason for me to be going out to the killing fields anymore. But, the war went on for so long. It's fascinating to think how many generations were serving side by side in the perpetuation and resolution of a single war. It's kind of surreal to think about.
Certainly is. Well,
Strange
keep
to
moving.
think.
Yeah.
It's strange to think that I've been alive for the entirety of the war, yet never even stepped foot to any sort of involvement.
Definitely in it now, unfortunately.
Never truly outrun it. Nobody ever wins.
You would think all the big hats in their big houses would stop making us fight and go off and fight themselves. And things a lot sooner. It's them who have us march out anyway.
Euphoria is very quiet in this conversation as she made her money helping nobles avoid the war.
Yeah, Marcus kind of shrugs and goes, well, as long as they have the money to keep paying the poor and keep on fighting, well, I guess we're gonna keep seeing more of the same.
Guess so.
Um, and as you move through the Blast Shadow town and stuff, the hours keep stretching on, and the sky just continues to be the same prismatic storm of fractals and images. So it's not like you can really tell day or night. But after a long period of walking, Marcus eventually says, all right, that's probably it for tonight. We probably should set up camp. I have the understanding that the rest of you need to, do things like sleep and eat and whatnot.
Very much needed, though not sure how much we're gonna get here.
I'll
Well, if
take
it
first
puts your
watch.
mind at ease, I'll be maintaining watch over the lot of you. I don't need to sleep anymore, so I've got nothing really better to do.
Certainly appreciate it.
Mm.
Just kind of sits down, takes out his longbow, and puts his swords down next to him and stuff, and he starts putting down some cards. Probably trying to play solitaire again.
You put the Ace of Dragon Tails in the wrong spot.
God damn it. The fucking host don't get a one tip because he mumbles as he starts redoing the cards. But yeah, what would you guys like to do as you settle down for the night?
Malral is probably the last person to go to sleep. He likely stays up as long as his exhaustion will not let him to the point where he's exhausted, but he'll stay up as long as he can without suffering any penalties. He looks over the land around them and is in very deep thought.
Are you worried that you're going to see them?
I already have.
Just now?
I see them in my work. I see them in my dreams. I see them in my nightmares. And I saw them when Paige gave me a vision. They never go away.
Hmm. Loved ones have a way of sticking around.
I'm sure you know better than most in this group.
Everybody here is lost. It's merely something that happens when the world is so strained. Paige and Sess lost their parents. Euphoria has lost her daughter. I've lost my family and home. Sylonia has lost just about as much as anybody could ever hope to deal with. But
You
I
see, he
know,
visibly grimaces at the mention of her.
I know, I know. Thought a lot about what you said the other day. When at least I got so heated, and I do apologize. I just, I think you understand the desire to protect those dear to you better than many. And I know that we can never forgive, or that you could never forgive the damage that was done. But all people are worth protecting, and I know that she knows that too. We all do crazy things in defense of our loved ones.
Does she know? She looks more interested in experimenting.
You know, I don't claim to be an expert on reading people, but given the amount of times where I've held her as she cried over her regrets, I feel pretty confident to say that she is truthful in that.
She can cry as much as she wants to. It is her actions I look at now.
Indeed, people can change. People can aim to better themselves. Illy will stand up and walk over to the other side of the camp.
Um, I'm assuming the camp and everything's taken care of, right? Or something, and we're just hand waving watches. I Paige, Yulia, Bestie, you have anything in mind?
Other than she's like trying to sleep. She's like curled up in a little ball towards the end of the camp, and like she'll close her eyes for a few seconds and then like have them open and she'll like shift around. So it's just this constant like trying to go to sleep but can't go to sleep, but like restless. But
You're like turned away from like the fire and the party though, right?
yeah.
Okay. It says has seen you on sleepless nights. She can tell when you can't sleep. So she's gonna grab Sylvana and bring her over to the area where Paige is sleeping and just sort of like sit with and then just like so basically it's like Sez and Sylvana are like sitting near where Paige is sleeping. Just just so Paige can hear. Yeah, sorry for dragging you over. Are you feeling alright? Is there anything that could tell you why? Or is that like is it just a feeling thing?
My bad. I didn't realize I was muted. She
Oh
goes,
no.
yeah, my bad. He goes, yes, I don't feel tired here, and the world around me seems so horrible, but it just doesn't affect me, and I don't know why, and that scares me.
Mm, well, if I were to put my thinking cap on for a second, I remember my dad telling me like some of the stuff that he works with, he had to wear like safety equipment. Did you not practice safety standards when you were working with your dad?
Um, I, I had, I followed what my father told me to do. I've had lots of experience with chimeric energy before and axiomatic contradiction, and it never really seemed to affect me.
Well, maybe this is just more of that. Maybe, from your studies and your work, this is just one of those benefits, like how Paige can see into the past and the future as part of her work. Maybe the Mournland doesn't affect you as bad. Or at all, really.
Maybe.
But you still have that weird feeling, right? That things are out of order, not in the right place.
Yes.
I get that from time to time. Usually it's my danger sense going off when something bad's about to happen, or sometimes it's indigestion. Maybe it's indigestion, but um, when I feel weird about things and I can't do anything about it, I try to focus on what comes next. Like what is something to look forward to, like you've spent a long day at school and it's like, oh, it's a pizza Friday, or after school, me and my sister going to go out and get fast food. So when this is all over, what do you plan on doing? You know, after we save Eberron and all that.
I, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I've
Mm,
not known what my life was going to be for quite some time now.
well, not knowing is really good. I'm not gonna lie. As someone who doesn't know many things, it's very nice. Um, but because you don't know what comes next, that means anything could happen, right? Me, if this all goes through and I somehow make it through just fine, I'd like to go to the beach again. That was pretty nice.
I hope you have fun.
We will, because you'd want to come, right? Unless you hate sand, that's understandable, I guess.
It's so coarse and it gets everywhere. She just kind of gets really quiet and she's like, when that time comes, I would like to if it's still an option. She seems to be uh, very much uncomfortable with the prospect of the future.
Mm, if you don't like talking about what could be, how about what would you want to be? You know, just nothing locked in, just things you'd like. You know, like if you had your own happily ever after, what would you want to do? Who would you want to spend it with?
She looks very crestfallen at that comment. Um, and
Paige's ears are twitching.
yeah, as you dragged her over to her ex.
I'm trying.
She goes, I I don't know what I want, Sess. I I think I'm going to go check with Marcus about some questions I have. And she will stand up and walk away.
Hey, Savannah, before you go, um, man, I really have trouble finding words. I would like to eat a nice meal when this is all over. Okay? With everyone. That's it.
Gives you a very forced smile and says, I guess we'll see. As she walks away.
Alright. After that, says fucking falls backward and puts like her head next to Paige, sort of like so they can whisper, and also so it looks like Paige is about to. It look like it. So, words. So it looks like Says is about to fall asleep too, and it's like, you feeling alright there? Sis, I know you're awake.
Yeah, I am. What what was that about?
She's not sure of anything, yeah?
Yeah.
And what about you?
What about me?
Yeah,
You mean what I want after this?
yeah.
I want to have a nice meal too. I want
It's go ahead,
Hmm?
sorry.
No, I want to forget about things for a while too. Just for a little bit. Like a nice trip to the beach sounds nice. I don't know.
Gonna go ahead.
Nope. What?
Uh, you're fine. Anyone in particular you want to spend that day with
Mhm.
at the
Her
beach?
eyes kind of trail over to Sylonia for a second before her ears kind of droop down.
Listen, you like her, right?
Uh, it, complicated, Sess. Really
Yeah.
complicated.
You know, I think things were complicated between me and Juby, and I was really afraid to do anything about it because I didn't want to mess up being her first. But well, maybe if I kept things stupid and simple like me, it would have gone better. So I don't know. Might be complicated, but she needs the support anyways. And if you want to be with her, you'll make it work out.
I did sleep a lot easier when we were together. But
Oh,
it's okay. But we haven't. It's been a while since the two of us slept together. I
yeah.
think I'd sleep a lot easier if we could.
Okay. Mm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna nod off right about now. I think I've done enough talking for one day.
Surprised you even can, considering where we are. You're really brave, Sess.
Nah, it's just. You remember when we would like look up at the sky in Loa Shan and see basically nothing but smog?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, this is kind of the same. The smog's scary. The thought that, we could get cancer for just existing is scary, but I've got you, right? And you've got me, so. Smog, a Mournland cloud, or whatever, it's fine.
She'll kind of turn around and face her up.
You now that you're looking at her, you also see Spikes sort of smirking from Sez's shoulder at you.
She she had turned around being like, "Oh, we can have this moment together," and her eyes immediately went to Spike and right. Yeah. Things are different now, but in a way that, the future's always changing. Just have to mold and grow from it, so do you
Yeah.
mind if I and her hand will kind of reach a little bit towards Spike?
I don't think they mind. Spike sort of separates him, says a little bit, so it forms a little nub or head that Paige could touch.
She'll hesitantly reach for it and pet the supposed head.
You know those plastic elastic toys you see at Target and stuff with the water inside of them, and you just feel the primitive urge to squish them. It's like that. That's what Spike feels like.
Oh, that certainly wasn't what I thought it was gonna feel like.
Just because I named him Spike doesn't mean he's all spikes. When I wear them, they feel like a giant waterbed around my body.
Is it comfortable?
It's nice. It helps me ignore the pain when times come.
Hmm.
Where's Index?
Oh, she kind of looks over and Index is tucked in between her collar of her shirt, kind of pokes out a little bit from her hair.
Squeak, squeak.
That's good. Gives Index a little boop on the head.
Yeah. To think we actually, get to have a pet of sorts. I know we had
Pets.
strays all around Sharn, but
Pets. Just like Mom says and Spike are looking at were you not counting Spike?
well, no, I meant now as opposed to, when
You
we
said
lived
pet
in
singular.
Sharn.
That's all. I'm just risen you up since you said pet singular.
Pets, yes.
Yes.
Plural. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Mom would fucking kill us if she found out we were keeping pets. uh,
She would. She would. We're older now. We're more responsible. I trust you and whatever decision you make, and we'll finish this together.
yeah. I'll be with you every step of the way.
Kind of leans over and bumps her head up against hers.
The head bunting, yeah.
Head bunting.
Says looked a little somber when she said every step of the way, and Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna nod off now. Okay.
Okay, me too. Good night, sis.
Night, sis.
As
Gonna go to
you,
sleep.
yep, as you two head to sleep, um, Malral will be the last of the people who have to sleep that will sleep. Ilya does her phase zen, um, and uh, Euphoria. What are you doing?
What is Euphoria doing? I imagine she's just kind of soaking it all in. Um, you know, having a quiet moment at their camp. Because as I mentioned before, she was a war avoider and helped a lot of other rich people avoid conflict as well. So this is just kind of a little bit of a somber moment here, and just thinking particularly on the Malral's comment about, if the rich people who waged the wars actually fought them, things would be differently.
When the rich wage war, it's the poor that die.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So yeah, you've got that to ponder as you head to sleep. Um, After 4 hours of Zen, one of the things that you notice that's very surprising, Ilya, is that Sylonia is still awake and doesn't appear to be like tired at all, as she's just writing in a book like near Marcus, who's just kind of playing solitaire, and um, she just continues writing as her spider bot will uh, basically be projecting various magical formula and stuff in front of her that she'll be consulting. And yeah, she doesn't appear to be anywhere close to sleeping, which is just odd. Um,
Just kind of get up from meditation time and just kind of walk over to their area and just sit down to say, feeling arrested?
I don't really feel fatigued at all. I don't feel hungry. I don't feel tired. I don't feel thirsty. It's just feel like I'm full in a way that I don't truly understand.
Hmm. Well, sometimes I find that I feel that when my brain is in a little bit of denial. But I can certainly understand body feeling confused about being back here. If you feel the need to rest later, then just let us know.
She nods. Um, and Ilya, you see Marcus kind of look up from his game for a second and kind of squint into the distance. And once he does that, you can go follow his eyes, and you see that there appears to be a uh, sparkling, shimmering, glowing object that is inching towards your campsite.
Marcus, by any chance do you know what that might be?
I can't tell for certain. I don't believe I've seen that before. Would you like to go investigate?
More so worried about what it could potentially do to us. Um, you've never seen something like this before in your travels? Ugh,
He
gross.
gestures to the world around him and goes, I've seen a lot of strange things the various times I've been through here.
No, no, no. I mean no ill meaning. by that. It's just feeling a little bit out of my depths here. I try to maintain the calmness, but you know. I Sylvana, would you mind please please watch if I make any sudden movements. We'll get everyone up, okay?
She puts her book down as her spider bot stops projecting and leaps back onto her back as her gauntlets electrify with electromagnetic energy, and she nods.
God, it's been a while since I've done something like this, but she'll kind of start to sneak forward a little bit to try and get a better look at it.
All right. He will. Marcus will be right there next to you as he gives you a big rotting tooth smile.
Well, rainbow energy does seem to be the norm here, so perhaps it's just a spot of a dust cloud or a tumbleweed that way.
I severely doubt it, but I like your optimism.
I do try to be optimistic, but
As you get closer, what do your elf eyes see? Your elf eyes see what appears to be maybe like a foot long little like caterpillar of jelly. That is it's kind of got like this strobing glow effect as it's inching along, and you see like parts of the ashen ground like behind it are immaculately like polished and then like absolutely just grossly dirtied as it's inching along.
I don't even know what to make of this. This could be literally anything. So, I guess, like, how far away is it from me at this point?
At this point, it's probably about 30 feet away. It's not moving terribly quickly. It's literally inching along like a caterpillar.
But it's going in the direction of the camp?
Yeah, just it's heading in a straight line, and you can see that the trail behind it is bent in a straight line.
Okay. Well, certainly got a little bit unlucky then. I don't exactly want to find out what this thing does, so let's get everyone going. Just kind of turn around and go back to the camp.
Make an Arcana check, please.
Okay. I'm very alright at that.
Overwhelmingly okay.
Okay. Whoa.
What? Double nat 20s?
Let's go!
I'm
first
just,
roll!
I'm just okay about it.
Trafay, you're used to weird shit like that.
Yep.
That's true.
Ilya, you've seen this done so often, it's practically commonplace. But as you look at this thing, you're like, wait a minute. The way it's moving, the lights, the colors, as it's inching closer, you notice that it starts like getting like a whole different type of smells and stuff about it. You're like, you know what all of this seems very similar to? A prestidigitation spell.
It's just a...
It appears to be some kind of living prestidigitation spell, inching along.
Huh.
Oh, that's the strongest spell in the game.
It's true.
I'll just kind of look over at Marcus and just be like, well, hold on a minute. You said that there were roaming spells in the Wasteland. This seems to just be, well, a harmless roaming spell. I find it hard to believe that it's harmless, but if
harmless, the thing can make your tongue taste like mud.
That's so it goes. Count ourselves lucky in that way.
Well, I can kill it in abundance of caution if you like.
Okay. Something about killing magic seems like a bad idea in this realm that is populated entirely by magical chaos.
Oh, you clearly have never been jumped by a fireball before.
No, I cannot say that I have.
He shrugs.
Either way, we should head back to camp and, well, I don't exactly think that this is going to be a bad thing if it rolls through the camp, but we should still probably be making sure to not disturb it.
Okay. As it inches, you head back to camp, and it takes a while for it to get to the camp and stuff. It's just a little thing. You just keep moving along. And there's like at one point it just moves over Marcus's shoe and it gets really shiny. And it just keeps inching along, and then Marcus smells like asparagus, and then it just keeps inching along. And now Marcus's blanket has a little green spot on it. Don't know why.
All things considered, Marcus, that's pretty good.
And he goes, "Oh, I was kind of curious what was going to happen. I thought worst case scenario, they'll eventually heal back."
Oh, I'm certain they would have told you if it could potentially harm you. And
And yeah, it just keeps squirming by, and if you don't do anything, it will move past your camp as it puts a little mud on Malral's horn, and then just keeps inching away.
so strange. So very strange. Let's let's get everyone up and moving. I don't exactly want to see a living fireball anytime soon.
It's got huge teeth, very big claws.
The more you talk about it, the more I'm sure that I'd never want to see something like that.
It's not even the worst. I've heard stories about, roving meteor swarms.
Yes, let's avoid that.
But yeah, so after a while, you wake everybody up. Malral, you notice that your horn's a little muddy.
I do not know how, but I know that my horn tastes like a nut.
You do. You have this very distinct thing of pistachio.
I couldn't have been almonds.
And yeah, Ilya, Sylonia never went to sleep that night.
Definitely making a note of that, but probably not telling anybody because there's already enough concern on her well-being.
Fair call. But yeah, and as you do your next day's walking, you notice that after a couple hours, the King's Way becomes surrounded by mist that doesn't really go over the road itself. And as you guys get closer, you see out of the mist is what appears to be tens of thousands of people. Kind of, they're not like shambling, they're just kind of like very worn and tired, walking along either side of the King's Way. And they appear to be very very haggard. Some of them have possessions on their back, holding children, etc. It looks to be probably refugees.
But these people seem like noticeably kind of fucked up at the same time.
Yeah, they've just emerged out of nowhere from mist,
Okay.
and they're
Yeah.
refugees in the Mournlands. That should be sus enough.
Yeah, it's just like maybe something a little extra weird happened, and it's more normal than it sounds. No, it's just that weird.
Can I start scrutinizing their faces?
Sure.
This isn't anything to be worried about, is it, Marcus?
Only if they start attacking.
Goodness, I hope they don't.
As you look at the faces, uh, when you scrutinize them closely, Malral, they appear to be somewhat translucent. Like you can see like kind of a spectral skeleton under them, and it appears that their skin and clothing and stuff is a very kind of spectral overlay put over them. They are very likely not alive.
They are those of deceased. Wandering souls.
Does it look like they've noticed us at all, or are they just like in their own?
They're just kind of seemingly in their own zone, walking on either side of the road. You hear them like talking to each other about like, oh, soon we'll be out of here. Soon, we can escape the storm. Everything's gonna be okay when we get to Brayland, stuff like that.
Marcus, have undead come out and joined your city before?
Well, I've seen lots of undead, moving around the Mournlands. Nothing really leaves the Mournlands per se. It'd have to be something particularly directed for them to ever depart, because of the, what I understand the rules of resonance to be.
I see. So they're stuck here.
Kind of shrugs and goes, probably. Probably been dead for what, a few years. Probably died in the morning itself.
This place just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Perhaps we can go talk to them.
Are you sure you want to do that?
They are my countrymen.
Don't exactly want to bring any more attention to us, so you never know how disturbed spirits would act.
We just came from a city of undead.
I'm well aware. If I don't know, I just think it's worrisome.
If
Well,
anything,
Cess and I did look out the train window, so a little bit of curiosity is not too bad, right?
Just look back to seeing Saz picking up another rock and looking at it.
Let's put that down.
if anything, if they do wish to depart, I may be able to help them with that.
So what do you
We'll
do?
back you up at whatever you do, whatever you decide.
Malral starts to approach them.
Yep. Yeah, they keep on shambling along. You wish to do anything else to them?
Can I try and wave and get their attention?
By waving, you do not seem to alert them.
How far away are they?
They're probably maybe 10 feet away from you. If you step off of the King's Way. Do you want
Hello.
to touch them?
Where are you heading? He tries to call out.
As you do that, they you see a few of them stop and kind of turn their heads to look at you, and when they look at you, you see that their eyes are clearly projecting morning sickness. You can see the swirling smoke and screaming faces within their eyes.
Do they respond to my question at all?
They will start walking towards you. There you go. Don't worry, we're gonna be out of here soon.
Where are you going?
To Braylon to get out of this to escape the storm.
Brayland is the undead city, right?
No, the undead people are in Karnath. Brayland is where Sharn is. It's the country that borders Drome, where you guys live in Greywall.
Hmm. And have there been any reports of like undead coming out of there?
No, not in anything sizable, at least.
What will you do when you get there?
Try and find a refugee camp, something. I don't know. It's only been a few hours. I didn't think it all through.
2 hours. No, friend. It has been much longer than that.
Be careful, Malral.
Cocks his head to you. He goes, "What are you talking about? We just heard the news. We just saw what happened to the capital. We started leaving. We were told we should be able to get out of here. The soldiers will be able to meet us at the border."
I was outside when the blast hit. I was part of a troop deployment here. It does strange things to the area, and it can warp perception. It has been much longer, I am afraid, than what you may have thought. But I can still help you if you wish.
I don't really know what you can do to help me or any of us. You should be leaving with us. Nothing here anymore.
Indeed. There is nothing, but I can take you somewhere where there is things.
At least he goes, "In Brayland?"
Beyond, where you'll be able to meet more of your fellow refugees.
All right. Well, if you want to help us, you're more than welcome to come along.
What I can do is a spell. Magic that I picked up. It can send you there instantly, if you so accept it.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes. You will be with the other refugees and I'm sure many other people that you know.
Huh. Incredible. Yes, absolutely. What do I need to do?
Just stand there, and when you feel the effects take over, just let it.
Yep.
All right. And can I use my clerical powers to help send these waylaid souls on off to the afterlife?
You can make a religion check.
Oh boy, I'm good at those. Nope.
Oh, that non-natural.
That's a 2
one.
minus 1.
A non-natural one.
Do I get advantage because these are my people?
Sure.
Clerics being good at religion, imagine.
Again.
Nah, it's a little bit better, but no.
Okay, that's 7. Um, yeah, you can identify that you might be able to, help this one guy transition, but the thousands more people will walk about 50 feet past you and then disappear again into mist. And then you'll see a rotation of people once again emerging in front of you in the same refugee procession. As if they're trapped on this specific, 100 feet of road in perpetual motion.
I managed to help at least one guy.
Yep, you help the one guy. He holds your hand and you fill with forge light and you see him just disappear into smoke.
They're with the Embers now. I cannot help the others if they do not wish to accept it.
It is innumerable how many have suffered. Helping even one is a noble cause.
We may not be able to help all those who are already past, but we can save a lot of people who are still alive.
To 7 spears, then?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. From what I understand, most spirits that happen to transition when they were within the morning, they don't ever get to leave. Something about the magic.
That's pretty damn tragic.
Nearly 2 million lost souls, either stuck in their perpetual prison or consumed by the denizens that it has created.
So you say they did not even die quick deaths. Instead, they are stuck forever in a loop right after the most tragic moment of their lives.
He shrugs and goes, I don't know how quick their deaths were. All I know is that they likely never left afterwards. It's not easy to leave the morning, especially, I imagine, for those who never left home in the first place. They have no residence in the outside world.
This is worse than ever I could have imagined.
We should be getting to 7 spear soon, so I wouldn't try to dwell on it.
He says that, but Malral can't help but think of all the people that he knew
Mhm.
and starts to wonder how many of them are trapped here that have yet to move on to rejoin their families in the afterlife.
Who knows? After some more walking, you guys will arrive at a secondary campsite. Marcus tells you that you should probably get there the next day if the feeling in his chest is correct. But probably should get your rest. He hasn't been to Seven Spears since he died, so he doesn't know what's going to go down there, but it was not a pretty place the last time he was there.
We're only expecting the worst.
Correct. Is there anything you guys wish to do tonight?
I think that Euphoria will take a little bit of downtime if he's open to talking to chatting with Malral for a little bit.
Okay. Malral?
You see Malral at the edge of camp, seemingly messing with what looks to be a few strange things. Incense, a small bowl with a little bit of spice inside that she starts to burn.
What are you working on there?
I am looking into the embers of the fire to see what they can tell me.
What sort of answers are you looking for?
I would have to ask it a few questions. I am nervous about the questions I hope to ask.
I can only imagine how many questions you must have.
Do you have a question? I think I am too scared to ask mine.
I don't really have a question per se. I just wanted to talk. If that's all right. I know you've probably got a lot on your mind as it is.
I always have an ear for you.
You really are a nice guy, aren't you? When
He
you're
gives
not
a toothy grin. It's
when you're
a
not
little
threatening
forced, but
when you're not threatening other party members, that is. And she'll give a little crooked smile.
uh,
When I came to get you from Chirotrixia's, I said a few unfair things. And I just want to let you know that despite what I said, there's no shame in wanting more than this life. It's a lesson I've yet to learn myself. So it's hard for me to let people enjoy it when they have it.
do you think the sense of duty you put on others, it doesn't allow them to enjoy the life that they have?
Life's messy. Work is easier.
Malral thinks back to literally diving into mercenary work after the tragedy and seems to nod. Indeed. But just because it's easier doesn't make it right.
I can't afford
Oh,
to wonder if you're right.
Sus came to me not too long ago and asked me what would I do after working as a mercenary. I had never thought of that. For me, it had always been the next job, then the next. No time for rest. Because when there was the next job, I didn't have to think about my problems. I didn't have to think about the future. Only the next job. But as I reflect now, I can't help but notice that those problems don't go away. They only grow bigger. Because we ignore them. Perhaps instead of the next job, we should both pause, look back at our problems, and learn to face them.
Well, when we're done saving the world, I just have one person left to save. And then, I don't know what. Like you said,
Maybe
I don't think about it.
we can enjoy it. The life, you say, that we all apparently have. Outside of work.
I'll have to think about it. Let's both think about it.
He looks back down at his divination set. There is still a question. Are you sure you do not wish to ask the Empress anything?
I don't know if your embers can help with the questions I've got.
You never know unless you try.
They help you?
They do.
I just want to know if I'll live through tomorrow. Can't help Juby if I'm dead.
4th level divination. Your magic and offering put you in contact with a god or a god servant. You may ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The GM offers a truthful reply. The reply might be a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen.
I guess if it's my question, I guess Euphoria just wants to know if she's going to live through this encounter. But that's not really up to the DM right now, is it?
Okay, so you see an image of you surrounded by swords and spells and shields, and they appear to be holding back a tide of energy. And you get the feeling that as long as those kind of martial slash arcane tools can stand in the face of that energy, you will continue to be alive and ongoing. But it is unclear if that force will overcome what appears to be representations of your friends and companions. It's the best I got, since this is literally something I don't know. I could roll very well and just fucking ghost Euphoria.
Well, I think the jury's still out on this one.
Fate is a hard thing to decide. The future is never certain. That we can be certain of.
I'm sorry to have wasted your incense like that.
It is fine. Many questions are very open-ended. But a vague answer is better than no answer.
Yeah. Well, We best get some rest. Got a big day ahead of us and probably the biggest damn job I could put on my resume, so.
You go ahead. I'll be back shortly.
All right.
And as she walks away, Malral turns back to the incense and lights them once more
Yep.
to ask a second question.
Okay.
Or are the spirits of my wife and child still trapped here?
You see a worn version of your house, and even though it appears to be dilapidated and tainted by the arcane energies of the Mournlands, there does appear to be a light still inside. The end.
Malral starts to... His eyes get a bit glossy as water seems to build up before falling down his face as a few tears. He sits there and he lets the tears droop down his face and onto the ash-covered ground for a few moments before he starts putting the incense away. And he'll rejoin the camp after he managed to wipe away any evidence of him crying.
Okay.
And I will subtract 50 gold from my inventory.
Okay. Paige, Seth, and Ilya. What about y'all?
Paige will probably do a repeat of last night,
Yep.
where she kind of spends a little bit more time with Sass, just idle conversation and snuggling with her to sleep and trying to get a little bit more familiar with Spike.
Every time Says looks a little more downtrodden, but is happy to be with her sister in the Mournlands.
Ilya is just going to basically spend the night with Sylonia, just kind of watching over her, just trying to help her get to sleep if she can, but knows that it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, she continues to not sleep, and she is seemingly having the opposite effect of she seems more energized here than she has been the last several days back in Greywall. And
Mm.
that's odd.
Yeah, a little bit. Do you at least feel confident?
I feel like I'm on the cusp of figuring out something definitive.
Something related towards magic or this place?
The two are one and the same, really.
So your magic comes from this energy.
What my magic? What do you mean by that? I'm an artificer.
No. I didn't mean it like that. You just said that you just feel more in touch with your magic. Merely just trying to conjecture as best as I can. I'm no page, but I can do my best.
I just feel like seeing this in person again after so many years, it's just got my mind racing. Seeing the effects of axiomatic contradiction in living motion, it's as if it is no longer simply an abstract hypothesis. And so it's reminding me of some of the ways of the nature of chimeric energy and potentially how it could be uh, redirected from its introduction into the world.
You think you may know a way to counteract this? Or at least are starting to figure something out.
I don't know if I have the capabilities to stop this, but I think if confronted with Peacemaker once more, I might have some means to be able to redirect its energies at least, if it is operating correctly.
Wasn't that a good thing? Good to be able to connect with the feelings. I can't say I know much about chimeric energy or anything of the sort. I merely dabble in what feels natural to me. But any sort of assistance that you could, any sort of breakthroughs that you have that could help with this could truly help save many people.
That's the hope. Being able to save people, being able to stop more death and destruction. That was the whole point of any of this.
I want to tell you to get some sleep, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
I don't think I need to sleep. At least not here.
I'll leave you alone, but I'll be up for a while. You know where to find me.
He gives you kind of gives you a small smile, and you notice that her eyes have another flash of that prismatic sheen to them.
Ilya just kind of thinks to herself, just like, something's wrong, but I don't know what.
All right. Later that night, Ilya, you and Marcus and Sylonia again, the dream team of people who don't sleep. You see that there appears to be a small humanoid or a child, kind of wandering across the ash fields.
Oh boy. You bastard, making it a child.
Ah.
I remember when I did this to my players and scarred them.
Who's to say?
I think Ilya would just kind of watch them for a bit and then think to herself, it was okay. And Malral went to them. And look back at Sylonia and just say, going to check it out. Same as before, okay?
All right. If you need anything, I will be watching.
I know you have my back. She'll get up and walk over.
So Marcus's hand slap you on the back, and his goes, "Oh, don't think I'm leaving that particularly shapely backside in my rear view mirror."
What a charmer. At least you're getting some of your energy back, too.
the prospect of being out in the wilds again, surrounded in a hostile landscape with several beautiful girls, it just gets the feeling of, this was why I went off to fight in the first place.
Of course. Beautiful women are something certainly worth fighting for. I can agree with that.
And the two of you will approach the child, and as you get close, the child will look up at you, Ilya, with some just kind of bale light glowing eyes, and go, I'm lost. I can't find my family. Can I sit with you?
Ilya will just kind of sit down and just pat her lap to let the child rest their head on her lap, just giving him a soft, gentle nod.
The boy is holding a little worn teddy bear in the green and black of Cyre, and it's got a little ribbon around its neck. What appears to have been a bow tie that has been unraveled. And he kind of nods as he goes over and lays his head on your lap, and he feels basically weightless.
Mm.
And Marcus gives you kind of a look of, you sure about this?
Just look back at him and just go like, I'm not sure.
He
uh,
keeps his hands on his swords as he supervises.
I'll kind of just, take some moisture from the air and just shape it into like a snowflake and just hold it in front of the child.
I've been walking for so long and I can't find them.
No, darling, I know. It's all right.
Have you seen them?
I can't say that I have, darling. We've been here for a while, seen many faces, but it's a dark and dismal place we find ourselves.
It's so scary to be alone. I just want to be with them again.
I lost my parents too. And I can't tell you that it's going to get any easier, but standing tall, one foot in front of the other, helped me keep on keeping on.
Did you find them?
Hmm. No,
You must be scared too.
child, I am always scared. The world is a scary place, full of people that wish to hurt us.
He hands you his teddy bear.
I'll take it.
When I'm scared, I just hug him. Maybe he can help you not be scared too.
I'll give the teddy bear a squeeze and say back, it's always good to have something to hold on to. Give him a big smile and return the teddy bear.
Gives you a little faint smile of glowing energy behind his teeth. Is it okay if I rest here a bit?
That would be all right with me.
I'm so tired.
Well, stay here for a while. It'll be okay. And I'm gonna look over at Marcus and give him like a nod to go back to the camp.
He nods back and he'll crouch down next to the kid and ruffle his hair a bit. You're like, you done well, lad. No, it's a time that even the bravest soldiers need a chance to rest. You're in good hands. And he walks back to the camp. And as you sit there out in the ash fields with the child in your lap, slowly but surely, he begins to disappear into mist.
Be sure to stroke through his hair as he starts to fade.
And as after a few hours, he's gone and was smiling, and the teddy bear is resting in your lap.
Oh, the teddy bear stayed. Oh. Yeah, Illy will take it. Is it like it's a full true corporeal teddy bear?
Yep,
Just
it is
probably
a-
fucked up
it is
one.
Yep, it is a dirty, torn, but very corporeal, green and black teddy bear
Yeah,
with a little ribbon.
she'll pick it up, give it a squeeze, and walk back to the camp before taking her meditation for the night.
Okay. Um, and the rest of the night goes by uneventfully. Now there's a special power of that teddy bear. I get to tell you now.
Oh?
This is technically for everyone, but that bear has 4 limbs and a head. You can choose to use one of those charges to re-roll any die.
Ooh, nice.
that
Okay.
You want us to rip up a teddy bear?
Let's go.
Absorb its power. Make it your own.
No,
I'll become a
not
halfling.
today!
Yes,
I mean, you were talking about killing Index multiple times.
but yes,
Different. This is a teddy bear.
the guardian bear spirit has 5 charges that either you or anyone else in the party can use, and if you choose to do it, one of the limbs on the bear will disappear.
We're never using it.
So there we go.
But yes, noted.
You gave the little child a place to rest, and that was your reward.
Oh, thank you.
We're not. Sorry.
All right. The next day, you guys are walking, and after a few hours, Marcus kind of looks kind of confused. He goes, "Well, that isn't right."
Something's not right.
Yeah, we should have been at the battlefield by now. We're not going the right way.
Do like maps work here at all, or
Well, I don't know about any appetizers here, lad, but
MAPS?
Oh, mops! Sorry, got
don't
and
think
he
you can
reaches into his
understand your
ear and
accent,
takes out a
sis.
maggot and throws it away. And it's at that moment that he goes, I don't know what's wrong. My resonance should be taking us there. And at that moment, Malral, you see in the distance a little house that is very familiar.
Oh, you absolute.
Yeah.
I can't say it because of Twitch TOS.
What were you gonna say about our DM there? She gave us a teddy bear. Come on.
Oh no.
Yeah, Trump, let's go, baby.
Yeah, gay sex.
As soon as Malral notices the house, he just stops.
There appears to be a light on inside.
Why are we here?
There's here.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck we are. I just said that.
Paige recognizes it from the vision, correct?
Yes, you actually do recognize this from the vision. Thank you for bringing that up, Paige.
Yeah.
You remember what that house looks like.
This is Malral's old home.
Do you want to go inside, Mal?
You can turn around if you don't feel up to it.
Don't know if this place would let us. It looks like she kept the light on for me.
Darling, you know what you know everything. It's okay.
He takes a very deep breath before letting it out very slowly. I can hear TV in the background. As Malral seems to... He takes a small step forward, then pauses, taking a step back. Very hesitant, but thinking back upon the ghost that he's already seen. They've been waiting a long time. I can't have them keep waiting.
Do you want us to come with you?
Do not think I could do this alone.
We'll be right
We'll be with
behind
you
you.
we'll be with you every step of the way.
Do not want to overwhelm them. Perhaps just one.
Whatever you want to do, Malral.
Euphoria. Will you come along?
Of course.
Malral starts to step forward.
All right. Do you wish to have everyone else but Euphoria stay behind?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can eventually walk up to your house, and as you get closer, it becomes increasingly familiar. You haven't seen it in years, but you've seen it relatively recently in at least your mind. And from inside, you hear some cooking noises, and you hear Minerva kind of singing a little tune to herself.
As Malral gets closer to the door, he finds a small rock next to it lifting up to reveal a key. He uses that to unlock the door if it even still is on its hinges.
It is not. This is largely feel like for, old habits die hard kind of thing. For the door is fairly insubstantial as you approach it, as if it's just an echo of an actual object that is no longer there.
And we can leave anytime.
No.
Okay.
No, we can't. I'm not leaving them here, continuing to wait forever. This is a problem I've been running from, and it needs to be solved. Malral will open the door.
All right. As you open the door, you see from the whole inside of the house, your initial look at it is you see just dilapidated ash and broken glass and stuff everywhere, but there's like a thin veneer of your memories kind of cast over it, where you can see, the tables and the the pictures of, you and Minerva and your son and everything, as if it was still corporeal.
I walk further inside, heading.
You cut out. You said heading.
I head further in towards the noises of where I hear Minerva cooking, towards the kitchen.
As you head in the kitchen, you see Minerva.
Instinctively laying the key down in like a bowl next to the door.
Yep. It appears to go inside of a bowl, and then promptly, as the bowl does not exist, it just goes onto the ground. There's a little clinking sound. And Minerva will turn to look at you with a big goblin-y smile. And she goes, "Cinnamon! I knew you'd come!" And she puts down what she was cooking and comes scampering over to you and, leaps onto you.
Malral hugs back, seemingly taking in the embrace as much as he can from this astral form, before slowly setting her down, back down, standing on the floor, kneeling to match her a bit more.
He goes, "I knew you'd come. They told me that we needed to leave, but I said that my husband is going to be back here soon because he's done with the army and he's ready to be here, and we're going to leave for Thrain, the three of us, and the storm won't get us."
Oh.
And then she looks over and sees Euphoria, and she kind of squints and goes, "Who's she?"
Hi, I'm Lady Euphoria Cox. I'm one of Malral's co-workers. We fight together.
She looks you up and down. And goes, "You don't look much like a soldier, Miss Cox."
That often works in my favor.
She's a mercenary.
Have
I
you
work
been
for her.
working closely together, Cinnamon?
I don't want you to get the wrong idea, ma'am. We work together, and Malral's been a big help, and I've heard a lot about you. We all have. The man won't stop bragging.
Kind of blushes a little bit, and she goes, "Well, I guess you're okay then if Malral is making sure to mention his beautiful wife that he leaves at home.
Malral has a bit of a sad smirk on his face. Indeed. I've been working for her daughter, you see. It's been quite the adventure.
Well, I'm glad you're home. We can have a quick meal and we'll go get our things together and we can leave.
Where is Chiro?
He was in your workshop. He said we couldn't leave if he didn't grab your tools because he knew that when you came back you'd want your tools all in order to be able to head out.
Why don't you set everything on the table, and I'll go get him. I have some news, and I want to tell it to both of you.
All right, Cinnamon. I'll entertain your tall, voluptuous pink friend.
Can I help you set the table, ma'am?
Well, I'm glad to see you've got some good manners. And she will move around, and when you're in the kitchen, you see that she is very much like projecting a form, but the kitchen itself is still the ruined building and ruined stove and everything that time and arcane magic has had on it, and she doesn't seem to notice.
You've got a lovely home.
Well, thank you. I've been trying to keep it clean, and I have so much time to do everything with Malral off in the war, despite my advice to the latter. And it's gonna be sad to leave it all.
It's got to be tough on your own.
Well, I'm not alone though. I know that he'll always come back.
Yeah, that one's a man of his word, he is.
He may be a stubborn handful, which I'm sure you're aware of, but he's got a good heart. And, he's always tried to protect us.
He's pretty good at that. He's saved our hides a few times. And he's been helping me find my girl.
What happened?
Well, I think she got herself into a bit of trouble. She's been missing for a while. And he's been, among other things, other adventures, he's been helping me find her.
Do you know where she went?
Kind of. It's not very specific, but she's in the Feywild somewhere.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but she puts her little hand on yours. It feels absolutely insubstantial. She looks up at you with her big red eyes and goes, "And I can tell you this, that Cinnamon will always stand by his friends, and if there is a child in need, he will always help to make sure they're safe and bring them home."
She gives a genuine genuine smile and says, "Well, this wayward child is grown, and she's going to get a talking to when I find her, but yeah."
Kind of smiles at that and goes, I can't wait to have to deal with that when Chiro grows up.
How old is your boy?
How old is Chiro, Malral?
I believe he was 4.
Oh, okay. He's 4 currently, and I can tell you this much: it must be that dragon in him, because he can be a handful at times.
Oh, I remember when my girls were that young. You cherish those days, no matter how trying they are.
I'll be sure to, and I know that I'll have plenty of time in the future to remember why that these were the best years of his life.
During this time, Malral has gone to his workshop, or whatever remains of it, to try and find Chiro.
You see Chiro is kind of huddled in a corner crying.
Chiro? Knock knock.
Daddy? Daddy?
You haven't knocked over any of my tools, have you? He
No,
gets down on a knee again.
I'm sorry, Daddy. I couldn't find the hammer you gave me. I looked everywhere.
Oh, don't worry about that. The hammer's just a tool. There's always more.
But you trusted me with it. You said we were going to make things together. And now it's gone, and I know that you're going to be mad, and I'm disappointing you.
Chiro, you can never disappoint me. The hammer was more than a hammer, Chiro. It was a sign that I knew you were ready. It can be replaced by any hammer. What made it special was that you were the one wielding it.
I thought that you wouldn't want to come back if I didn't have it anymore.
You leave my apprentice behind? How could I ever do that?
Sorry, Daddy.
No, there's no need to be sorry. Come here, come here. He opens up his arms.
You feel the spectral child go and hug you.
I'm here. I'm home. Finally home. You don't need to cry anymore.
Why are you crying, Daddy? We're together again. We're gonna leave. Mommy says we're going to a really warm place, and the storm can't get us there.
That's right. That's right. You are. I'm just happy to see you. Come on. Your mother's been cooking. I want to tell you both something.
He puts his little hand in yours as you leave the ruins of your workshop. And you enter the back in the room, and you hear Minerva saying to Euphoria, could you believe that's when he burned his own tuxedo during our engagement party?
Oh, you know, my husband stepped on both my feet during our first dance at our wedding, so I completely understand.
She laughs.
To be fair about the suit, I did ask that it was not made of either silk or cotton. The tailor completely disregarded me.
All I remember is that little cummerbund being the only thing on your tummy.
Somehow he neglected to tell that story. Can't imagine
Oh,
why.
that's surprising.
Say what you will. I saw your eyes. They did not leave.
Oh, trust me, Cinnamon, I liked what I saw. Oh, Chiro! What's a cummerbund?
It's a type of candy.
You were wearing candy?
When needs must.
Oh my. Oh, I was just telling your coworker about some of the stories of how we met and everything, but well, now that Chiro's here, I think we can have our last meal together, and then we'll get everything packed up and we can leave. Okay?
That sounds good. Come, Jiro, sit down.
It's nice to meet you, Chiro.
Oh, you're so tall and pretty.
Thank you.
And he points at the he's got little nubs on his head, like Malral's horns. And he goes, I have horns too. Are they gonna look like yours?
Maybe. I think they'll look a little bit more like your daddy's, though.
Oh, that's good. I don't get to see very many people with horns, so I just want to show I have horns too.
You do! And they're coming in just fine.
Gives you a big smile as he sits down in a bit of a high chair.
Oh, his little booster seat.
Yep, his little booster seat. And Minerva passes out a meal that does not exist.
Minerva, Jiro. I am sorry that I had always left to go on more and more missions. I should have spent more time here with you. There was so much I could have done. So much time that I missed out on. True, I could have taught you so much more. And Minerva, you deserved better than an empty house and struggling to raise Churro on your own. I could have been better, but my own selfish pride and sense of duty got in the way of what was really important.
It's all right, Cinnamon. You're home now, and that's what matters. No matter how long you're gone, no matter how far you are away, we'll always love you, and we'll always be with you like you're always with us.
There hasn't been a day since last I left that I have not thought of the two of you. You have always been on my minds and always affecting my actions. I, by the embers, I never got to say something very important before I last left. I love you. I love you both so much with my heart. It is what fuels the furnace inside me that gives me flame. And I never told you that before I left. When I needed to, I didn't say it enough. So I say it now. I love you both with all of my heart. And that will never change.
Minerva and Kira will get out of their chairs and walk over to you. And they will each hug you. And Minerva will say, "It never mattered how many times you said it, Cinnamon. We always knew. And we always love you. No matter what."
I missed you so much. You've been waiting for me all this time. And I didn't even know. I do not deserve you. You two are the best of me. But it is time to go. We cannot have you waiting here any longer.
All right, Cinnamon. We'll go get our things. You know that no matter what happens, we'll be watching over you with all of my ancestors. And even if we get separated out there, we'll always be with you. Gives you a kiss.
Mm-hmm. Malral can't stop the tears from going down his eyes.
Sure.
Goes. And you, pointing at Euphoria, you better keep your eye on him and make sure he doesn't get in any trouble as we're leaving.
I'll do my best.
All right, Cinnamon. We're gonna go now. You should get anything that you want to take with you.
Just knowing you all will be somewhere watching over me is enough. He looks down at Chiro. I have another student, you know. Technically, you are their senior.
Does that mean I get to tell them what to do?
In a ways, perhaps. Look over them, too.
Yeah, I'll show them the ropes. I'll make sure they know what to do. I'll make sure they never lose their hammer.
It was never the hammer, Chiro. Just the person who wields it. And he goes ahead and gives a head pat to Chiro, ruffling up what little of his hair there is. I'm so proud of you, my boy.
Giggles. All right, Cheryl, let's get our things together. It's time to go. Love you, Cinnamon.
Love you, Gumdrop.
And as Minerva holds Chiro's hand, they walk through the doorway. They each give one last smile at each of you, and then they fade away into mist. And all of the spectral illusions throughout the house disappear.
They're really great, Malral.
They were.
Are.
He stutters, trying to catch his breath in that I don't want to cry right now, but my body doesn't stop kind of breath. As he stands up.
If he lets her, she'll just kind of take his hand.
He lets her.
Is there anything you wish to take from your house?
No.
Okay.
That chapter is done.
Okay.
Before he leaves, he pulls his hand away from Euphoria. My wife is watching. We can't let her see.
That's right. I promise to keep you out of trouble.
Before you leave, you do one little pass through again, and you see huddled in the corner of your workshop are two little skeletons in rag clothing, holding each other. One of them looks like they were formerly holding a very small hammer.
Find a shovel. And I'll start preparing ceremony.
All right. You guys see Malral and Euphoria exit the house as the light disappears within it, and Malral comes out with a shovel, and yeah.
I'll go back to the group to give him some time alone and relay what happened, just that he was able to get some closure.
As you look back as Malral finishes burying his family, I am going to use the 4th level spell Fabricate.
Okay.
To make a worthy grave of what I consider my family.
Okay. You'll eventually see Malral settle some very small sets of bones into a grave that gets magically generated.
You see a large two large graves, one next to each other, both about 5 foot tall. One with a tiny hammer, one with a larger one, and the symbols of Karn currently on them. The symbols of the country.
Of Cyre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here lies Minerva. Here lies Chiro. Both the warriors of the heart.
All right. You rejoin your crew.
It's never easy. It never gets any easier.
That is where you're wrong.
Oh?
This is where the healing starts.
The only person that I was able to bury was my husband. Everyone else was just dust.
I ran from this.
Looks at Euphoria.
I ran from this for far too long. It is a problem now that is now behind us.
We'll march forward into the next day, hand in hand. That is how I've looked for a while now.
Looks over at Sylonia. Let's not let this happen again.
He slowly nods.
And that's all he's going to give her before he starts walking with the party wherever it is they need to go. Probably
Okay.
in whatever direction that leads our undead guide.
Okay.
Did y'all know that Malral burnt off his suit on his engagement night?
Oh?
I got some secrets from his wife.
We'll be sure to share. So, I think all of us have at least some sort of embarrassing story about a night that we wish to not discuss. So perhaps we should chat over a nice pint of beer or something.
Mm.
Top stories.
Yep, we survived this. We swap our most awful, most embarrassing tales.
Wait, that's a reward?
Well, I take it you would enjoy hearing some of those things.
I think after what we're going to face, some tales of embarrassment may not matter.
Levity.
Mm.
Perhaps.
You thought the suit burning was bad? I have a real story.
Oh, I look
Two,
forward to hearing it.
2 for 1?
Let's just say it involves a bucket of oil, feathers, and a lot of coconuts.
Hmm?
Okay, this is definitely a story we're gonna have to hear.
I'm frankly excited.
What about you, Marcus? You got any embarrassing stories?
I just got all the classic times when I was in the army, but each of those is not really embarrassing, it's mostly a rites of passage.
Ah,
Like there was one time my commander and I were playing with grenades and she decided to pull out the pin with her teeth.
oh, that's awfully dangerous.
Yeah, well,
I
we
believe we
used
saw
to.
a picture of that.
Oh, she kept the picture of it. Yeah, we passed them between each other. Thankfully, I was still alive at the time, and I continued to be such afterwards. She, on the other end, had already been dead. Um, and with that, he'll just kind of chuckle, and you guys will keep walking along. And eventually, you guys feel a very strong aura of magic and spirits, and you stand on a hill overlooking a vast field of bones where you see thousands of spirits engaging in some kind of visceral combat with each other and with invisible forces. Yes. Well, I think we finally got to 7 spears, ladies.
Not exactly a joyous place, is it?
Can't say I'm terribly fond of it after, Dardier.
Can't say I'm very fond of it either, considering my side lost.
That is an unequivocal fact there, man. I have not been here since my death, so I don't know what the spirit's effect on reality will be. So I would say stay aware. um, I don't think it'd be a very good idea for me to go back there, considering that there's probably some kind of magical undead nonsense associated. So I'll be overlooking from here.
Right, we'll try and avoid all the people that tried to kill me and you in the past.
He gives you a thumbs up.
We appreciate your guidance and do await our return.
Good
Have a
luck.
game of solitaire while you wait.
Try not to die of boredom.
Too late. It took too long.
Oh.
He laughs and takes out his deck of cards. Do you guys head to the battle campsite?
Let's go.
How hard could it be?
I was here for this battle, wasn't I?
No, you were not.
No. Okay.
You fought in a previous battle.
Battle?
With them. You were not. You would have been dead if you were here.
Okay. Still, seeing that this was once my home country, could I be able to help guide the party, also knowing how battlefields
Yeah. You know how a Syrian war camp is set up. You do see that there appears to be near the center of the camp there is a torn Lightbringer banner, which has been, very, very much damaged with time and conflict, that still stands over the campsite as you see the spirits of the Lightbringers battling with Some of them you can identify as Carnathi or Thranic or Brayish or Brailish or Hobgoblin, soldiers, assassins, mages, etc. Um, you see all manner of destroyed like siege equipment that had been brought with them, anti-magic projectors that have been shattered, uh, etc. And nobody seems to acknowledge you guys as you move through the camp.
So far, so good.
They must not at least acknowledge our presence, considering that we weren't here.
I don't know how these things work, because I was able to interact with Malral's family. She was well aware of my presence.
As was I with the small child the night before.
Child.
While each of you slept, we saw a small child at a distance. Just gave them some comfort. She'll kind of gesture towards the teddy bear that's like hanging out of a bag. She says, "Where do I think I got this?"
Well, kids do seem to gravitate towards you.
One of my specialties, I suppose.
Um,
Honestly, it's probably because of the blue skin. I have so many children come.
So many children do what?
They're curious.
Okay, no, I couldn't hear you over the morning. Is all. Out of character, your mic cut out.
yeah.
Well, they're curious, either because of the blue skin or red scales. They don't often see it, so they just come up and poke. And he goes ahead and just pokes Jubilee in the cheek like that.
Jubilee.
Or
Got him.
She's here.
Oh,
She's here.
She was here the whole time.
Don't scare me like that.
Silonia's revenge. She takes out your ex, makes you be around them.
No.
Julie just comes back and says, "So I hear you've been hanging out with other girls."
But yeah, so as you are working through the camp, the spirits do not acknowledge you. And eventually you get to the center point where the remains of the banner are. And you see there is a figure holding the banner pole still. And he is also insubstantial as he looks out at the battlefield. And he just kind of looks very much disappointed. Like he's not really participating in the fight, he just looks really disappointed. Malral recognizes this man. This is Captain Meryn, the former bannerman of the Lightbringers.
He looks important.
Captain Corland.
Spirit turns to look at you, kind of raises an eyebrow.
It's been some time.
You were not here. Why are you here now?
That is a complicated answer, Captain. But it involves the other Lightbringers, or as they're known to many others, the Ashbringers.
None of you should be here. You weren't here. You don't belong here.
No, we were not here. But we've come now because of great importance.
That was a mistake. You should not be here. None of you should be here. And he starts kind of like, his form starts like shivering. And you see energy begin to pulse off of him as he just keeps repeating that you shouldn't have come here. You don't belong here. You weren't here.
Captain Meryn, I may not belong in this battle, but this was once my land. Please hear my words.
And with that, you will see that energy begins to pulse off of the banner as it becomes a more substantial, glowing object. And you see the spirits that are fighting stop and turn to look at you all. And with that, you see that there are all of these haunted faces reaching for swords and closing in on you. There we will end it for tonight. To pick up next time.
Oh no!
Bum bum bum.
Boy.
Oh boy!
I hope everybody had fun tonight. Hope everybody
Laughs and
cried.
family trouble.
Always.
We're
Yay!
doing Tate and the Bearing the Family Gang.
I hope my players had fun as well. If you haven't done so already, please go check out all of these wonderful people. They're all great streamers in their own right. Overall, amazing beans. And also, you can check out all of the previous episodes of the show. 41 previous episodes posted on YouTube so far. You'll love to see it. Shout out to Tamatobe for actually going through all of them on YouTube since we started to get caught up with it. Also, if you haven't done so already, give me a follow here on Twitch, give me a sub over on YouTube, give me a follow on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. We will be back here on Wednesday for more Dungeons and Dragons. We're doing a new Iron Kingdom short shot called A Sinking Feeling, where everybody is a bunch of pirates forming some kind of self-harm squad for the government. So it should be fun and exciting with our new batch of ridiculous characters. So come on by 6:30 p.m. Eastern for that action. Also, go type in ! charity to go to our Tilify. We are raising money for Trans Lifeline throughout the entire month of June. Every little bit counts as we are trying to provide resources for trans suicide prevention. And I want you all to know you're all amazing. We are going to go find somebody to raid. We are going to raid. Well, she's being a doofus, so playing a game called Paleo Pines. So we're going to go raid Pang. She's
Paleo? Dinosaurs?
She's a very silly pangolin VTuber. And she is playing a game where it's like, it looks like some kind of Animal Crossing with dinosaurs. I don't know.
Oh my god! That's so cool. That's your brand.
This is Gay Sex Month,
dinosaurs.
everybody. Please go have some gay sex this month. Do it for Yulia.
Royal Knight VT for gay sex.
Oh my god! Hi, I'm Yulia, and I support gay sex.
Yeah. Be sure
Happy
to do
Pride,
hashtag
y'all.
Happy
Royal
Pride!
Knight
You
Gay
won't
Sex
believe the
Month.
mod she put in her Skyrim playthrough.
If you are a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, please copy down the night message. And let's go send some love to Pangalang. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.